بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه. إخواني في الله, بارك الله فيكم. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all. إخواني في الله, نحن في الصفحة 66 بعد 100, page 166. قال حفظه الله تعالى: حكم الناقص في الماضي. We have a problem. We have a problem here. We have a problem here. نعم. We're on page 165. نعم. نحن في الصفحة 65 بعد 100. نحن في الصفحة 65 بعد 100. We're on page 165. قال حفظه الله تعالى: الدرس 25. We're on lesson number 25. الناقص. And we know, بارك الله فيكم, أن فعل المعتل على 4 أقسام. الفعل المعتل على 4 أقسام. The fi'l that has harf illa in it is on 4 categories. 4 categories. The first is al-mithal. That's harf illa at the beginning, like wasafa. Na'am. Then we took after that al-ajwaf. We finished from it yesterday. That's harf illa in the middle, like qala, wa ba'a, wa mata. Now we're on harf illa at the end. It's called naqis. Naqis is the name of the kind of verb that has a harf illa at the end of it. Filam al-kalima. Al-waw, al-alif, awal-ya, at the end of the word filam al-kalima. And this is our topic for the day. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his aid and his assistance that we understand this. قال حفظه الله تعالى: الناقص هو الفعل الذي لام الكلمة حرف إلة وهو على 3 أقسام. الناقص is the verb in which the lam al-kalima, the lam of the verb, the last letter of the verb, حرف إلة. And it's on 3 categories. I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
وهو 3 أقسام.
وهو 3 وهو على لا بأس. وهو 3 أقسام is good. No, and it's 3 categories. It is 3 categories. Nah, that's good. طيب بارك الله فيكم. طيب من هذه الأمثلة, from these examples, we're going to recognize the 3 categories of الناقص. الأول رضية. It ends with a ya. Radiya. What does radiya mean? To be pleased. And radiya, in these different hafja, you could say radiya an or radiya bi. So be careful. Raditu bik, raditu anka, raditu bik. I'm pleased with you. Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Al-yawm akmaltu lakum dinakum وَأَتْمَمْتُ عَلَيْكُمْ نِعْمَتِي وَرَضِيتُ لَكُمْ Islam. رَضِيتُ لَكُمْ. So it needs a hafja. It could be an radiyallahu anhum. It could be hafja ba, be, or alam. So you have to look. Yeah, same meaning. No. It is a difference in the meaning. When you use this one, that needs study. Okay? Nasiya. What does nasiya mean? To forget. Faniya. To finish. Thaniya, it ended. It's over. Thaniya, it ended. Aisha radiallahu anha, she said that when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam died, كان لها يعني burran. She had like some wheat that was in a bag, and it stayed with her a long time. It stayed with her a long time after the Prophet. She just go in the bag of wheat, the burr, and she take a cup out. She can't take a cup out. She kept a cup out. قالت كلته فثنية. Kiltu, I went and see how much was left. I weighed it, and then it ended. I mean, as long as she didn't weigh it, it was barakah. Once she picked it up and see how much is left, فثنية, it ended. Kiltuhu, from kilo. Kiltuhu فثنية. So The barakah occurs in something when you keep just going in it without counting. How much it weighs, how much is left, how much, put your trust in Allah and just go. Allah increases it. Qawiyah, to be strong. Amiyah, to be blind. Rawiyah, to quench one's thirst. Na'am. So there's another one that's rawa. Rawahul Bukhari. That's fa'ala. Rawa. Rawahu, that's the narrate. That's rawa. This is rawiyah. That first one has an aleph. Rawa. Rawahu. And he narrated a story. Rawa. Rawiyah is to quench one's thirst. Like shabi'ah is to be full from food. Rawiyah is to be filled with drink to quench your thirst. And I keep forgetting this other one. Rayhana. It means like to quench yourself by seeing, like you got a full look at something. But I keep forgetting the word. To get a full look that you could, you satisfy your hunger, you satisfy your thirst, also you can satisfy your eye, getting a full look. Tell you, we try to find that word. That's one kind. That's one kind of knock, because it ends with a ya. Next one, masha, to walk. Qada. What does qada mean? Other sisters online. Qada. Qada. What does qada mean? Qada. Qada is to finish. No. When you say decree, because it means to finish something. That's why it means to decree. But I can qadaytu, I finish. Qadaytu, I finished. That's what qada means, to finish. Also, what's a qadi? What's a qadi? A judge. وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ وَأَمْرَ. Allah made a decision, meaning he finished. Over. Qada means to finish. Bana. What does bana mean? To build. Let's understand. Qada means to finish. Akmala. Qadaytu. Akmaltu. I finished. Qadaytu. We say qudiya al-amr. The matter is over. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَالَ الشَّيْطَانُ لَمَّا قُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ. Shaitan said when the matter was over, when they were all in the hellfire, قُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ مَبْنِي لِلْمَجْهُولِ. قُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ. The matter was decided. It was over. Qada means to finish. When you finish something, you say, أَنَا قَضَيْتُ. Nah. انتهى. Nah. انتهى. Nah. قَضَيْتُ. To finish. Nah. But intaha means to end, to stop. This is like I finished, I completed. Bana tabil asa. What does asa mean? To disobey. All of these are ending with alif maqsura. Alif maqsura. Kafa. Not to be sufficient, but to make sufficient. It's muta'addi. But iktafa, from ifta'ala, is to be sufficient. So you say, Allah yakfini, Allah is sufficient for me. Well, yakfini gives me what I need. Kafani Allah, Allah is sufficient for me. But iktafa is lazim. It is enough. Nah. What does this mean? Hada la yakfini. La yakfini. Hada la yakfini. That's not enough for me. That doesn't suffice me. Kafa means to suffice. No. Rama, to throw. Jara. Look at these examples here. All of them is what an alif maqsura. And we're going to study now that if a thing has an alif maqsura, maqsura means in the shape of a ya, and it's an alif, it's really a ya. And you're going to recognize what it is in the tasarruf. When you make the tasarruf, you say, huwa masha ana mashaytu. It becomes, you see what it is, what it really is when you put a tasarruf on it, when you conjugate it. We say, huwa masha fil madi, huwa yamshi. That aleph, it becomes a ya. And that's why it is written like a ya. That's why it is written like a ya, because it is really a ya. There is no word like from these verbs that in it is really a aleph, like qala. That's really a wow. Ba'ab, that's really a ya. Mata, that's a wow. There's no really a aleph. There's no original thing that is an aleph. It's either a wow or a ya. Okay, and that's why this aleph is written in the shape of a ya, because when you conjugate it, it's going to change to a ya. So when you look up this word, you're going to look up meen, sheen, ya, mesha. And when you look up asa, asaitu, you're going to look up ayn, saw, and a ya. Okay? Let's just imagine. If you're looking up the word ayn, saw, and aleph, saw, aleph is going to be at the beginning of the alphabet, and then saw and ya is going to be at the end of it. That means you're looking in the wrong area. You're going to look up ayn. You're going to get the ayn section. Then you have to go down. You have ayn, ba, ayn, wata, ayn, wajim, ayn, wara, until you get down to ayn, wasod. Now, when you got ayn, wasod, you have like asaba. That's one word, asaba. And you have all these other words. When you get from the ayn to the sword, then you start with the sword with the aleph. Sword with the ba, sword with the ta. So until you get all the way down to the ya. It's the last letter. So you'll be all the way at the top of the alphabet looking, you won't find the word because there is no aleph. Hopefully what I'm saying is understood. Let's go to the last section. Raja. What does raja mean? To hope. Shaka. To complain. Saha. Now, sahautu, istayqaftu, I woke up. Saha, to wake up. Naja, to be saved. Afa, to pardon. Naam. Da'a, to call. Kasa, to clothe. These here is called the alif mamduda. This is called the alif mamduda. The first one is called maqsura. This one is called mamduda because it's written mamdud. It's stretching up and down. That's what you call mamdud. It's stretching up and down. And the alif mamduda is really a wow. It's really a wow that's there. So when you conjugate it, huwa raja ana rajautu, and mudari huwa yaruju, wa huwa yashku, wa huwa yashu. It becomes a wow when you conjugate it, either in the madi or the mudari. 3 categories. There's even categories after this, like sa'a. You say sa'aitu, but the mudari is yas'a. It's sa'a in the madi, yas'a in the mudari. There are other things other verbs that are still in it. But these are the main 3 ones, and this is a beginner book that we're doing in Surf. So we're not going to get everything in it. Is this understood here? How are we doing online? Is this all understood? Barakallahu feekum. Let me get some feedback. Is everything understood? We have different categories. You know, I'm teaching online, but I need feedback so that I can know, you know, how should I go forward? Should I review it again? Nah. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakumullah khairan. طيب يا إخواني قال حفظه الله تعالى أصل الألف المقصورة ياء. The origin of the alif maqsura is a ya. That's what that means. We just took it. Now, listen up. Today you're studying, tomorrow you're teaching. From the good ways of teaching, I remember when I got to the match, the teacher would say something, explain it to us well, and then we read it, and it's right there in the book. If we went just straight and read the book, we would be confused. But he explains it in his own terms, in his own lahja, that we understand it. And then when we go read it in the book, mashallah, it's there. And it's the same thing. There's variations in teaching and in like proving something. Sometimes Ibn Qayyim, he might bring the ayat and then say from this ayat, this shows that this is permissible, that's permissible, and that's permissible. Or sometimes he says, This is permissible. That's not good. This is done. That's wajib. And then the deal is, then he brings the ayat. You have two ways to do it. Sometimes you bring the ayat and you say, in this ayat shows that this is wajib and that is that, and that's not permissible. Or sometimes you, according to the audience or to the issue, you might say, listen, it is not permissible to do this. You have to do it that way. You have to do it 3 times. And the proof is that way, according to the situation. According to the situation. Aslul alif al-maqsura ya'un. Maybe if somebody just opened up our book in the middle of nowhere and got right here, they probably wouldn't understand what that means. Aslul alif al-maqsura ya'un. Where's the alif maqsura? Asa, wa kafa, wa masha. Are you all with us? Yeah, Mu'ad, you understand this? Aslul alif al-maqsura. Where's the alif maqsura? Mean on the example number 2. All those verbs on example number 2, masha, that's a alif maqsura. Qada, wa bana, wa asa, that's a alif maqsura. The origin of that, the asl of it is really a ya. Look what it says after that. It says, wa yatabayyanu dhalik, that becomes clear in the tasrif when you conjugate it. Fil madi wal mudari. Is the kalam clear? The sabur? That becomes clear. What becomes clear? It becomes clear that this alif is a ya when you conjugate it in the madi and the mudari. No. Okay. What about the next? What about the next row? Why when we make that up, why we say rajaitu? Why we say rajautu? How am I supposed to know it's not mashautu? I'm not supposed to know it's not mashautu, it's mashaitu. How can I assume? Nah, I might say that. وهو ماشى انظر هو ماشى أنا مشيت هو يمشي هو ماشى, that's the alif maqsur. When we conjugate it in the madi, أنا مشيت, it became a ya. And then when we conjugate it in the mudari, هو يمشي, became a ya. For ikhwan, listen to this. I want you all to recognize in every book, I'm going to take you all back. You all be patient with me to page 160. I'm going to take you back to page 160. Okay? 160, it says, حكم في الأجوب. It says, حكمه إن تحركت لام ثبتت عينه. Then it says mithal, gives examples. Listen, whatever book you're in, look at the examples. Why is he mentioning these examples? If he mentioning 3 because he wanted them at 15 or 20, or there's something particular about these examples. Every book, don't think that he just giving any example. It's something particular about the example. So we have qala, yaqulu, quli. Qala. That's fi'l maldi, right? But is it that I just wanted fi'l maldi? I could have said qultu. That's fi'l maldi also, right? But I want to show that it's ajwaf. If I said qultu, you wouldn't see that it was ajwaf. So I want to show that it's an alif and that there's a what? A fat. Taharrakat al-lam wa fatha. And you see the alif. It's one thing. Yaqulu. Taharrakat al-lam when it's a dhamma. In the middle is a wow. That's the purpose. I could have said a lot of other verbs. Waquli, taharrakat alam, and it's a kasra. There's a point. And one is madi, one is mudari, and one is amr. You have to consider that when you're studying. So, Isma, I'm going to ask you all a question. Al-mithal. Does it change in the madi? Al-mithal. Does it change in the madi? No, it doesn't change in the madi. Does it change in the mudari? Most of the time. Does it change in the amr? All the time. But now when you get to ajwaf, the madi and the mudari and the amr changes. It's not like what? Mithal. So you have to pay attention. No matter what book you go to, recognize why are you giving these examples. Understand? Now with that, let's go back to where we were. We have masha, mashaitu, yamshi. What's the point in examples? One that shows that in the madi it also changes to a ya, and also to show in the mudari it changes to a ya. That's the point. Are you all with us online? Don't think I'm just throwing down any word. I'm showing that it changes in the madi, mashaitu. Also, it changes in the mudari, yamshi. That's the point. It is very important that you understand the examples that are given in the class, especially in the books of Nahw and Sarf. No. Then قال حفظه الله تعالى أصل الألف الممدودة واو. أصل الألف الممدودة واو. The origin of the alif mamduda is a wow. What examples are we talking about? That's what we took with Raja, Shaka, Saha, Naja. They all turned to a wow. Rajautu, Shakautu, Sahautu, I woke up. Najautu, I was saved. Afautu, I pardoned. Da'autu, I called. Kasautu, I clothed somebody. Look at the examples. Huwa da'a. Huwa da'a, what is that? That's the alif, mamduda. Ana da'autu, it became a wow. Huwa yad'u, in the mudari, it became a wow. How are we doing online? How are we doing online? Listen, you all know all of this, but now you is on another. You're looking directly at it. It's under a microscope now. Before we were looking at it with a telescope, not far away, just looking at it in brief. Now it's under the microscope. It's specific what we're looking at. But you already noticed, we already did these words. Y'all know what the words mean. We conjugated the likes of it, but now we're looking at the rules. Now, these ones here need special attention. Fasul, hukm naqis fil madi. Hukm naqis fil madi. Now, we're going to take our time. We're going to take our time. You all know these rules, so don't let the mustalahat and the terminologies and the rules scare you away. Let's read. تحضر حرف العلة إذا التقى الساكنين. We know that now. The harf illa, which is a sukoon, if another sukoon comes, harf illa is going to be dropped. Look at the examples. Hiya mashat. Hiya da'at. Okay, listen up. Abdul Sabur. Why did I come with these two examples? Why one mashat and one da'at? Why I come with those two words? Both of them is here. Both of them is here. So why not just bring one example of here? Why would I bring two examples of here? Because one is alif maksura, the other was alif mamduda. That's the point. Recognize that. One is, and they both, if it's iltiqa as-sakinain, the alif gets dropped, meaning the ya gets dropped, and the wow also gets dropped. It's a general rule for naqis. It's a general rule for naqis, whether it's a naqis with a wow, a naqis with an alif, naqis with a ya. Either iltaqat as-sakinain. When we look at barakallahu fikum, radiya wa nasiya, it's not going to be iltiqa as-sakinain because it's radiyat. That last letter is not a sukoon, has a fatha on it. Radiya, radina, radiyat, radina. Na'am. You're with me? Na'am. So you say hunna mashayna. Na'am. Walakin hiya mashat. Na'am. Tayyib. But that's the first rule. If it's going to be two sukoons going to meet, harf illa is going to drop. Okay, I'm going to ask you all this. I don't want to bring these too many rules. تحذر حرف الإلا. تحذف حرف الإلا إذا التقى الساكنين. حرف الإلا is going to drop if two sukoon. What harf illa? Even if it's a wow or a ya? Yes. Whether it's a wow or a ya, it's going to get dropped. But we're talking about if it's sukoon, like masha, Wada'a. We're talking about the last two kinds. Na'am. If two sukuns come, okay. If it has two sukuns, harf il is going to be dropped. Okay, let's look at the second rule. تحضر حرف الإلا إذا اتصل به واو الجماعة. Like we have masha, mashao. That alif is gone. Hold on. Let's go back. Now we're going to attach waw al-jama'a to these words. They're right here in front of us. Masha. Huwa masha. Hum, mashao. That aleph is going to get dropped. Why? Why does the aleph get dropped? Iltiqa sakinain. Okay. Qada. We say hum, huwa qada. Hum, qadaw. Hum, qadaw. Huwa bana. وهم بنوا. طيب. It's really, when you write it, there's supposed to be an aleph there and a waw. Do we call this iltiqa as-sakinain? Yes. That waw has a sukoon and masha has a sukoon also. Okay. Which one are we going to get rid of? If we get rid of the waw, we're not going to know it's jama'ah. We can't get rid of the wow. We need the wow. So we have to get rid of the aleph. Okay? You have to get rid of the aleph. The same thing with raja, rajau. Shaka, shakau. Saha, saha. Naja, najau. If waw al-jama'ah gets attached to these, na'am, we're talking about just these last two. These last two sections that have an aleph. These last two sections that have an aleph. If a waw or jama'ah gets attached to it, we drop the harf al-illa. The ones that's on the top, radiya or nasiya, that's going to have a different ruling. That's going to have a different ruling. Okay? How are we doing online? Let's read number 2 again. تحذف حرف الإلا إذا اتصل به واو الجماعة. That's on these last two that have an aleph. Na'am. It's going to be the same thing with radiya. When you say radiya, you say radu. When you say nasiya, you say nasu. All of them, they get dropped. But that one has a special ruling. We're going to get to it. But look how it's going to come clear now. Look what it says here. It says, يفتح الحرف قبل الواو إذا كان الحرف المحذوف ألفا. Listen. I want all y'all to be calm. I'm going to say this in English. Okay, I want y'all to be calm. I want you to understand you're going into nothing difficult. Let's go back to the top. Look at these examples that we have here. Radiya, nasiya, laqiya. Listen up. When a waw gets attached to radiya, the ya gets dropped. It's radu. Radiyallahu anhum wa radu anhu. The ya is gone. Nasiya nasu. Laqiya laqu. Faniya fanu. Qawiya qawu. Amiya amu. No matter what it is, there's a harf illa at the end. That's what we're doing naqis. If waw jama'ah comes to it, the harf illa is dropped. Radiya, radu. Masha, mashal. The aleph is dropped. Raja, rajao. In all of these situations, harf illa is dropped. Rawaw. No. But now, listen to this. The two last examples, when it does an aleph at the end, within masha, when you say masha, that fatha is going to stay there. Mashao. It's masha, mashao. And it's raja, rajao. That aleph is, that fatha is going to stay there. But when we say radiya, it has a kasra there. We can say radiyu. I said, we got a wow that's coming after this. We have a wow that's coming after this. We got a problem. Because we can't do the kesser and then make a wow sound. It's radiyah. We say radiyah. We're saying that if a wow jama'ah comes, we're going to drop the ya. We're left with radu. Too difficult. So we're going to just take that kesser and make it a dhamma. Because the dhamma is equivalent to the wow. Radu. Because the dhamma is equivalent to the wow. It's suitable for the wow. Radu. Again. Masha, if the waw jama'ah comes, we're going to drop the alif. But we're going to keep that fatha over whatever becomes before the waw jama'ah. Mashaw, qadaw, hum banaw, hum asaw, like that. Same thing with rajas. Mashaw, sha. Right before the waw al-jama'ah. Nah. Mashaw. Nah. Same thing with rajaw, shakaw, sahaw, najaw. That fatha stays there. There's no problem with it. But when you say radiya, wa nasiya, okay, when we put the waw jama'at, the harf il is going to get dropped. We have nasiya. When we come with huwa nasiya, we're gonna put a waw jama'ah. That ya is gonna get dropped. But we still have a kasra on the scene. Nasiyu. So we're gonna take that kasra and we're gonna make it a dhamma. Nasu, hum radu, hum laqu. Now we're going to read the explanation. We're gonna read the explanation. But I just want to make sure everybody understands. How we doing online? You all are sort of familiar with this. In the example, radiyallahu anhum wa radu anhu. Radu. Hold on. When you say radiyallahu anhum, when you say radiya, is there a ya there? When you say wa radu anhum, is there a ya there? There's no ya. It's gone. Because if the waw jama'ah gets attached to it, it gets dropped. Now, when you say radiya, is there a kasra on the dal? Radiya. Is there a kasra there? Now, when you say radu, what happened to that kasra? It got changed to a dhamma because it's too difficult on the tongue, and the dhamma is what's equivalent to the wow. It's that clear. Brothers and sisters online, it's that clear. I don't know if it's clear. My screen is okay. Try it. Listen, if it's not clear, y'all have to, there's no problem. There's no problem. I don't have like a zap button. Like if somebody's touching their mouse, I press tab and it zaps them on the other side. In the future, maybe Zoom, they'll come up with something like that. I zap everybody's mouse. Sahib, inshallah. Sahib. Okay, let's go over one more time. Look at the examples that we have here right now. Let's look. Let's read number 2. We're on page 166. Number 2. Page 166. Number 2, it says, تحذف حرف الإلا إذا اتصل به واو الجماعة. The harf illa is dropped. What harf illa? Masha, that alif. Masha, that alif. Da'a, that alif. Radiya, that wow. It gets dropped if what? A waw al jama'ah gets attached to it. But look at these next 2 statements. Yuftahu al-harf qabla al-waw. The letter that's before the waw, I mean that sheen, it gets a fatha, and can al-harf al-mahdhuf alifan. If the letter that got dropped is an alif, then it's going to be a fatha qabla al-waw. Mashaw, rajaw, najaw. If there was an alif there that got dropped, then whatever comes before the waw is going to be with a fatha, because the aleph is equivalent to the fatha. A fatha is equivalent to the aleph. Our aleph got dropped. When we know it's the aleph, because there's a fatha still there. Mashal. Look at the examples we have. Masha, mashal. Bana, banal. That's in aleph al-maqsura. Then after that, we have da'a, da'aw, shaka, shakal. That's in the aleph al-mamduda. How are we doing online? How are we doing online? Look at the examples that we have. Masha, huwa masha, hum mashal. The aleph got dropped, but we keep the fatha there. That's over the shin. Bana, there's an aleph there. Bana, there's an aleph there, right? Bana, what happened to the aleph? It's gone. The aleph is gone. But we keep the fatha there. The fatha stays there. It's not like we're putting a fatha there. Naam. And this is why I don't like this rule right here. Look at this rule. I only wrote it out from the books. What does this rule say? Yuftah al-harf qabla al-waw. Like you put a fatha before the waw. It's already there. We don't have anything to do. You don't have anything to do. I mean, you put a fatha before the waw. The fatha's already there. From the Madi. Masha, mashaw. Kafa, kafaw. Naja, najaw. Are you with us? The fatha's already there. If there's an aleph, the fatha is already there. Whether it's the aleph maqsura or aleph mamduda, the aleph is already there. It's not like you have to put it there. But that's what the rule is. Okay? Damn. But now, let's finish the sentence. Let's finish the line. It says, وَيُضَمُّ مَا قَبْلَ وَاوِ الْجَمَاعَةِ. You make a dhamma was before waw al-jama'a. In كان الحرف المحذوف ياءً. If the letter that's taken away is a ya, like radiya. If the thing that got mahdoof is a radiya, it's a ya. Or nasiya, like these words. Na'am. I only have two in my head. What's the rest of them? Qawiya wa laqiya. Na'am. These ones, that is, if an aleph is taken off, is radiya, then you're going to make it a dhamma. Radu, nasu, qawu. Now, what does qawu mean? They were strong. Qawu. How are we doing online? Now, what we're going to have after this, another rule. So now, this section is full of rules. And then where do we get to? Subhanallah. Where do we get to? Iqra. Where do we get to? Yeah. At the end of all this, we're going to get some Jumal Mufida. And this is a little difficult because now what we really need right here, is some Iqra with him, right? That's what's missing. But some authors I want to talk about them. When they get to the end of that book, forget about it. You get to the end of the book, you just scatterbrains. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm out. But here, like, where's all the examples? Where's the 24 sentences at now, Mr. Man? You're bragging about your book so much. Where's all your 24 sentences now? You done scrambled everybody's brains up with all these rules. And so that's what's deficient here. And I'm not going into the next, we cannot go into a next rule and we don't even see any examples, right? So we're going to stop right here today. Because I don't want to scramble anybody's eggs or anybody's brains today. And I'm going to do a PowerPoint and I'm going to bring some sentences to be attached to this book. Are you all with me online? I can hear you. No, yeah. Where's his 24 sentences at now? Bragging the whole book. They're like, well, I wish we had some vocabulary words now. Where's our vocabulary words at? Give us something. Give us all these rules that just, the next one is, right. Look, after this section is like fossil. Hukum naqis fil madi. I mean, come on, how many rules are you going to take at one day? Somebody can only laugh at themselves. La ilaha illallah. I advise you, if I'm waiting for one of y'all to write a book, I'm gonna study with y'all in your book. So we have to stop here, and I'm going to I really like using the book of Allah because it's an encouragement, you know. It's an encouragement. But even if I have to make up some sentences, we need examples. You have to teach about examples. I just can't give you these rules and you don't implement it and give you some homework where you have to fill in the blank. Boy, oh boy. I think next time I'm going to just start at the end of the book and work my way back. And the closer we get to the end of the book, the more deficiency comes up. Y'all don't tell nobody, all right? Don't tell nobody. We're going to stop here. This is humbling. It's humbling. You have to know how to teach it. I'm here to try to make it simple. I'm making it difficult again. Like, oh no, not more rules. You know what I'm saying? But that's enough. That's enough. You know, so now we need a good 24, 30 sentences so it can sink in. We cannot go to another rule.
Today, what was that yesterday? I was talking to Gala. He said maybe the 19th example was something. And he said, yeah, okay.
Right. Yeah, need a lot of examples. Tired, brothers. Look like we're gonna be here another 3 weeks. We thought next week was the last week, right? Tired. Yup. Yeah, at the end of the book. I'm just trying to finish, and it can't go like that. It can't go like that. You have to take your time. It can't go like that. May Allah make it easy. All right. Tomorrow's what? Really Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday? Thursday or what? Okay, good. We need the 2 days off. And inshallah, we meet back up on Saturday, inshallah. This is our class for the day. I got some homework to do. So, I'm sorry? I did it. Yeah. Yeah, I caught up. But the tartib was different. I put the day before yesterday's class. Right. So, but it's there. Yes, I have a lot to do. It's just too much. And alhamdulillah. We finished this and everything will go. Well. All right. This is where we're going to stop. May Allah bless you all. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Shalom la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Oh man. This is humbling. You think you got your book down straight? Yeah, okay. Let's see. It's funny, you know what? Sheikh Mukbil, rahimahullah, if you ask a student, you study, he used to call you up to ask you questions. And you say, do you study Tuhfa? You ask you what book you study? He'll go straight to the end of the book, the Mansubat, straight to the end, and start asking him. And that's really like, well, you might pay attention to the beginning of the book. He goes straight to the Mansubat, straight to the end. May Allah make it easy.